Okay, I'm not hearing a dang thing.
No, I can't hear anything either.
No, no.
Here, I'll boot it up on my machine.
I
You get
just
us.
did.
You get us ready to go into your YouTube, Jimmy. Anyway,
Yep.
goes live.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it should.
I don't know where my iPad.
Full faith in the power of TFR, boys. Full faith. Chris and Cherie Geo, not just pretty faces. They will get us on the air.
Let's hope.
Ah, exactly, Jimmy. Exactly. Put it out there into the ether, man.
Mm-hmm.
Put it out there. Get
One
thought
more
form.
minute.
Yeah, thought form is formed. And the heck is in there.
Marty's over here in the chat. Joey's over here. Hey, Zoe. What's up, Marty? We're just getting ready to go on TFR's website. It's down. So you guys, so we're going live here. So
Okay, Jimmy. Give me 2 seconds, dude. Sorry.
no worries.
Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go live and see if we kick in. The theme music should still be on just now, so I'm just trying to time it right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, I am your host, Kev Baker, and for the next 2 hours, it's the Kev Baker Show right here on TFRLive.com. Big shout out to anyone tuning in today. We've got another fine broadcast set up for you, not 1 hour, but 2 hours, jam packed with information, great commentary, great company as well. And I'll get to that in just a moment because I need to remind you all, not that you need reminding, but I'm coming to you from under the data dome of Smart City, Glasgow. We go all the way from America to Australia, and I'd like to think just about everywhere in between as well. And we do that thanks to Chris and Cherie Geo. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Lucky as well. And that's tfrlive.com, your protection from deception. And where silence is consent. And where today I'm joined by two very good friends, two very good guests as well in their own right. And on a Wednesday, we're joined by Jimmy Jeans, who is here. He's ready to join me now. But we've also got another guest today, Jimmy, before we bring on our other good friend. How you doing, my Californian brother? How is it in the land of the Mussolini?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm hanging by a thread,
And you're
man.
muted up. What a great start. He's muted up, ladies and gents.
That
It's
is-
all going well.
That is a great start because I was
How you
cursing.
doing, man?
I was good, man. I'm hanging by a thread, but I'm doing good, man. I'm really happy to be
You're
here.
doing fine in FEMA Region 9.
I am doing fine in FEMA Region 9. I'm hanging by a thread, but don't you worry your little head because I'm right here, right now.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. And one of our good friends is with us
I
tonight.
know. I'm excited. Yeah.
Absolutely. So without any further ado, let us go multinational. Very global feel to today's show.
Mhm.
Because all the way up there in Canada, it's our good friend Don Wiskin. Looking radiant today, Don,
Mm-hmm.
may I add. And Don Wiskin is the man behind Extendovite. You can find out more about that over at heartdrop.com. And you're going to find out more about that right here, right now on KBS Live. So, Don, how are you, my good friend?
Oh, I'm hanging by two threads, so I guess I'm doing pretty good too.
Now, do you have any equivalent in Canada to FEMA? Like Jimmy's got the whole FEMA Region 9, it's got a nice snap to it. Do you have an emergency kind of system like that?
Yeah, we kind of do, but we don't have as much emergencies as the USA. We're kind of laid back here in Canada, and we put up with Trudeau way too much.
How's he getting on anyway? Is his coat on a shaky hook? Is he on his way out?
Actually, we just had another election, and he called the election because he was hoping to get a majority. He's got a minority government right now, but we were pretty wise. We gave him back a minority government. He's still not a majority, so he has to ask like the NDP or the Conservatives to do things, which is the way we kind of want him. We want him underneath a bit of a leash and collar because he gets too crazy on his own. He's spending way too much money. He spent $239 billion on this COVID thing as it goes right now. And, we as Canadians, we can't afford that. We're in debt over our head. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, the whole world is spiraling into craziness more and more as each month passes. And Jimmy, I think you were going to jump in there, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't appreciate the prime minister up there, of your prime minister too much. And I know I have a lot of actually Canadian people and friends that enjoy our show and also that live up there. For example, Mike, a good friend of Ron Patton. He's on co-host on Conspiracy, and he lives up in Saskatchewan. So we've been sort of, keeping in touch with him on, some of the things that have been happening. And he was saying that they had mentioned that what they were going to do up there was hire off-duty patrolmen to actually visit businesses and find out exactly what's going on with these measures and if people have their passes and this type of thing. So it seems like for whatever reason, Trudeau seems to be falling right in line with these measures that we see like pretty much across the Western. You see Australia with the same kind of thing as America, as the same kind of thing as Canada. Same thing with where you are, Kev, in the UK. These Five Eye countries, I think, are the ones that are the ones that seem to be really pushing for these measures to go through. So I don't know. It's such an interesting time to be alive here, especially with Canada and some of the things that have been going on with the CCP and the China and the big Belt and Road facility they built up there. That China put in. I forget how many square feet it is, but it's a giant facility. So they're looking forward to world trade, the BRICS, and the, the Belt and Road project, the new Silk Road. And
I'm telling you, man, this is all to get extended right to where we need it. We need it around the world, dude. I'm telling you.
There you go.
The Belt and Road, Don. It'll get you very popular over in China. What kind of countries? Like what kind of countries do you ship to?
Yeah.
I mean, is it most countries around the world?
We ship to a lot of countries around the world, but right now Australia and New Zealand are under COVID lockdown, and they're not allowing any planes in, so we can't ship airmail. So our customers in Australia and New Zealand have to wait a little while because they figure it might be opened up sometime around the middle of November, but it's kind of insane right now to take over 12 weeks for it to go by ground, and we're not really interested in sending it ground, so we've had to cancel quite a few orders to Australia and New Zealand. It's kind of sad, but the COVID is still happening, and it's still taking over certain things. Like Jimmy was just mentioning, the guy in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan just recently had the worst cases of COVID of any province in Ontario. And that's still going on. It's still quite nasty there. But Ontario, we're doing quite well, and we only had 300 cases the other day for the whole of Ontario, over 19 million people. Mm-hmm. But we're doing good. But a lot of people who are on Extendivite are finding that, it helps to keep their immune system up. And so when they're talking about, getting a third shot or something for, because the COVID shots, you might need a third, with a compromised immune system, at least the Extendivite is keeping people's immune system up and running properly. So, that gives them a better chance to survive, when it's coming from everywhere.
Dude, I haven't even gotten a sniffle in the last 2
Well,
years. I'm just saying,
in
the last 2 years, since this has been going on, I mean, I do what I do every day, which is I take my vitamin C, I take my vitamin D, I take my magnesium, and I take my Extendivite. I mean, those are the things that I do every single day. I mean, I try to do things more, but I mean, it's enough to be able to do that. But that's enough. I mean, like I said, I talk about it on my show. When the ad plays on my show, I talk about it and I say, look, I wasn't looking. There's nothing the matter with me. I wasn't feeling like I needed anything. I wasn't looking for anything. But when you, out of the kindness of your heart, sent some to my mom for what she was going through, and I started taking it myself, I noticed it. I noticed something change in me. I noticed that my circulation was improving because I spent a lot of time sitting down because I'm doing shows, I'm working in the studio, I'm doing recording. I'm always sitting down, and my legs were starting to give me some numbness, in my feet and stuff. And like I said, it wasn't like it wasn't like this overwhelming giant thing that happened. It was just something that I just all of a sudden one day noticed it. I just noticed, wait a minute. Hey man, my circulation's better. I could, my feet are, I can feel my feet a lot better. So it's working for me. And like I said, God, by the grace of God, so far, the last couple of years, I haven't even had so much as a sniffle. So
well, as somebody who has now, not fully come through the other side of having the coof done. Oh man, boy, oh boy, I can tell you. That was not a pleasant experience at all. Not a pleasant experience, but I'm here to tell the tale. And that wasn't pleasant though, Don. I must admit. And back at the very start of COVID, people with the kind of comorbidity that I've got, in particular, COPD, unfortunately, a lot of those people, for whatever reason, didn't live to tell the tale. Touch wood now, over here we're about 40 to 50,000 cases a day, but the amount of people who are actually losing their life has dramatically fallen. So that's one. If there is anything good to be taken of what's going on at this current moment, plus the fact that I'm still here to annoy both of you guys on a regular basis,
Yeah, it's amazing what we go through all the time. It's just a blast, but. I've been fortunate enough to be able to answer the phone quite a bit lately. Usually the wife takes care of it all the time, but she's had a kind of a busy couple of weeks here. So I was busy on the phone, and, it's surprising the people who call us in and tell us what they, have to say about their experience with Extendivite. It's just bloody amazing. I can't imagine what some of these people are telling us, that they've been going through. And, even on Amazon, if you went to Amazon.com and looked up Extendivite, you'd be surprised at what the customers are saying. We've got over, I think about 180 some odd people sharing their experience about Extendivite. And that's just incredible. I'm really pleased. I use them on my commercials half the time, so you can listen to me saying, let me read a couple from Amazon.com, because, it's really quite amazing what people are saying.
It is amazing. That is one of the biggest and best things about being doing radio and being available to people is the feedback that you get. That really, just like the things that you hear, the great things people have to say, or even if people have an issue, and you can solve the issue for them. It's just to be able to be in contact with so many people from around the world and have an opportunity to help, in many ways. And with the Extendivite option, also that makes it even better. So they get to call you and you're answering the phone, man. I can't imagine, if I was calling up to get my Extendivite and you'd answer the phone and I never met you before, that'd be pretty pretty exciting. Ask you some questions. If I had any questions, that's pretty cool, Don.
You're going full fanboy on Don Wiskin. I think we need to get you a poster of Don for the studio there, Jimmy. That'd look cool, right?
I absolutely love Don Wiskin, man. I gotta say, because he is just he is a soul that just gives and gives on this planet. And like I said, he reached out to my mom without me even saying anything, just because I was here on a friend of Kev Baker's, and when I didn't even know Don, and he reached out and helped my mom out, and like I said, inadvertently you helped me out too, cascadingly, and now I'm helping other people out because I'm letting them know about it, So I mean, it's a win-win-win situation whenever Don's in here, and I'm happy to be here, man.
So Don, what's happening over at Extendivite HQ? Keeping busy?
We are keeping busy. I'm really quite surprised, because February is coming up. That'll be our sale month.
Can you believe it? That's coming round again. I mean, it's like a blink of an eye, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's 3 more months.
Crazy, but that'll just be gone before you know it, dude.
Oh, yeah, I know. But, February, there's a whole lot of people who buy in February. Right now, some people are calling and ordering, like this month especially. They're ordering a couple of bottles because they have to get through until February because they didn't get enough in February. But they'll try and do it again next year. But we have a lot of customers. But it is surprising what just garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle can do to people. I mean, it just sounds like just a simple concoction of these 7 different herbs, but your body seems to take it and do what it needs to do so easily. Like carpal tunnel syndrome, if people have the carpal tunnel syndrome, their hands hurt, they ring at night, they have to hang them off the side of the bed. It does take us about 6 months in order for you to start getting better, but that's about how long it takes to actually even overcome, serious heart problems. Like I was 7 months and I had lost 35% of my heart and to damaged tissue, and it rebuilt itself in 7 months. So, it doesn't take a long time, but it is a long time. So people really have to, stay at it and keep trying it. And, you see things so gradual that sometimes you don't even notice it, but all of a sudden one day you wake up and go, I couldn't do that before. Look what I'm doing. And it's just amazing. I mean, it's keeping elderly people going. It's keeping young people going. Anyone who's had heart problems of one form or another, they're the biggest users, and there are people who are trying to prevent, but mostly it's people that have had problems and now they're doing what they can to get over it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for people who listen to this show and shows like it, you might not realize it. You might not have heard this before, but when it comes to chemtrails and heavy metals that are built up within our bodies, and we've all got them there through various external forces or factors, the chemtrails, vaccines, whatever, the Extendivite in itself, Don, is able to kind of ship that out of the body over time, right?
It's really kind of amazing because I've talked to many doctors and health professionals, and they've all said the same thing. There's no way for you to get those heavy metals out of your liver. I mean, once they're in your liver, they're there for life. Well, I'll tell you what, the garlic in this seems to help to move those heavy metals right out of your liver. It helps to get basically there's a sulfur enzyme that does all of the work. It chops up the peroxides and turns them into water-soluble waste, but it's the sulfur that attracts the heavy metals. And metals are attracted to sulfur. They use sulfur to mine most metals. So when we add the garlic in the Extendivite, there's over 70 different sulfur compounds in garlic, but over 30 of them help to chelate that heavy metals out of your liver. So over about a month, that's when people start noticing the improvements in their blood flow, because now the heavy metals are gone, your blood flow is working better, And it does not take very long to get the heavy metals out, and you'd be surprised at how well of a job this does. I'm beside myself half the time when people call and tell us how they're starting to feel so much better, or their skin's a better color. Oh, my complexion's not as dark as it was. I look in the mirror and I look like I have a bright face. I just feel so much better. And I think you noticed that too at one time, Kev.
Yeah, absolutely. And even looking at myself now, I used to have that kind of peely-wally, almost grey look about me, leading up to the heart attack in particular. But then a couple of months after taking the Extendivite, the first thing that we really noticed was my hair and the colour of my skin. And of course, everyone's different, folks. And Jimmy, just listening to Don there, I used to be somebody that suffered from, I don't know if you recognise it or not, but when you get like a white finger, goes all cold and numb. Used to have that from time to time, and totally got rid of that because the circulation was improved. So, not only helping my heart problems, but helping other things I didn't even appreciate were wrong with me.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's kind of nice to feel better and know that you're doing something positive with your life instead of just wasting it away with
but at the same time,
vitamins.
It's and Jimmy, I'll get you in here. It's not like you can just sit back and be the full couch potato, dose yourself up with Extendivite, and it's going to be like some miracle potion. You got to be eating right, Jimmy. You got to be exercising. You got to be putting in the work as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, nothing happens until something moves. I mean, you got to do something. If you don't do anything, then nothing will happen. So even if all you can do is just do the curl with the Extendivite eyedropper, just do that one curl, that might help you. But I was going to point out, you mentioned that you had turned all gray and all that. And I was going to mention, when I was going through my, I've never talked about this before, but I bring it up now because of what you just said. So when I was going through my chemotherapy and I was going through my cancer treatment, so when you're going through that, there's a bunch of people that got diagnosed all at the same time as you did. And so it's almost like a class. In other words, everybody that's going to getting their treatments is going at the same time. You see them at the same time. You go there, your appointments. But the reason I'm bringing this all up is because in the going through that, what I noticed was what people look like when they're sick and dying, and what their energy fields look like. And so, like, now when I'm walking down the street or I'm at the store and I see people, I can see somebody and I know when they're really sick. Like, I can see when somebody's really sick and they got something really seriously wrong with them. Even if I don't talk to them, I can tell just by, their energy field, the way they look, and just, just because I spent that amount of time around that and I really paid attention to it. A lot of those people I was in my little class with didn't make it. You know what I mean? But there is a distinct grayish color to people when they're sick. And I don't think I was seeing you on camera back then before when you had your heart attack, Kev, because I think back then it really wasn't much video going on.
Yeah, it was back in the days when it was the good old days when we were doing audio podcasting, before all this streaming became a household thing,
Yeah. My dog knew I was sick too.
Dogs smell it. I think they can smell it off people, right?
Yeah. So the best thing to do is to not get sick and just try to, do as much as you can.
There's a good question, right, Don? Animals, Extendivite.
No, dogs cannot take garlic.
Yeah,
it's not good for them.
Yeah, I think garlic, and there's a couple of things. Chocolate, I think, is another thing. Dogs.
Chocolate, yeah, that might be really dangerous.
Chocolate will kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend who gave his dog chocolate bars all the time, and it was just a little dog. He just had a little dog, and that little dog did not last very long. I was surprised, but he didn't know that he shouldn't be giving it chocolate bars every day.
Yeah, I never heard about that either. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
until a
It's only
certain
like
point.
last couple of years I found out as well. I'm like, really? I mean, you just think you're not killing them softly, right?
Yeah. Well, some people have tried to give their pets the extendovite, but I have tried to. I didn't know this at first, and I thought, well, hey, maybe it would be good, but it turns out, they really can't handle the garlic or onions and leeks. They're just problems with their system. They're just totally different, and I wish it was different, but unfortunately, it over time it will slowly take them down.
Maybe you should do a gain of function on your extendovite to see how you could modify it to be just for pets. Extendovite for our fur friends. That might be something special. But hey, dogs are man's best friend. They say, hey, if you want a friend, get a dog. And I could vouch for that. I've had so many many of my best friends have been dogs. The four-legged variety. So
I had such a good relationship with my last dog that after we put her down because she was in so much pain, I just have not bought another dog, and I've been almost 8 years now without a dog.
Oh, Don, that's where I am. I'm there with you, man, with my cat Susie.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Never been able to move on. It's never gonna happen. So I get totally where you come from, and the way the world is right now, it's no wonder that more people, find companionship and closeness with animals when you look at some of the humans out there. That's all I'm going to say.
I feel like no one's got my back when I don't have my dog with me. I mean, my chow chow that I had, my chow chow that's gone. I mean, I had.
I mean, that chow chow would have your back against a troop of like grizzly bears.
That I'm just telling you, yeah. And it's like I never have to lock my car. I don't have to worry. No one's gonna try to mess with my chow, So, but when he's not there, I forget and I leave my car open, or, it's just like I rely on him like my bro. Like he's got
I can see it now, man. I can see it be a great ad for Extendovite. You've got the chow chow kind of leaping and bounding through the big trees you've got there, Jimmy. You're on the hillside taking the Extendovite up to you, and away you go, man. See? Always thinking of an angle, boys. Always thinking of an angle. But, Don, we're about to go to the break now. So let people know about the website, and then on the other side, when we come back, we'll get even deeper into what Extendovite can do for all these people out there.
Sure. Our website is heartdrop.com. That's HEARTDROP.com. And if you go there, you can click on the link to go to Amazon if you like. You can read some of the testimonials there. We have some of them on our website as well. But heartdrop.com and 1-877-928-8822.
Absolutely fantastic. So, folks, join us on the other side. We'll be back with more from Jimmy Jeans and our man up in Canada, Don Wiskin. We will be right back. There we go. Now we're still on Jimmy's YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
We're still on Disco. We're still on Twitch. I'm not sure. It'll probably be going into the archive on TFR, but I had a bit of an audio issue at the start, so I want to thank everyone for being patient till I got that ironed out. And Jimmy, yes, indeedy, the man in the hat, looking good with the hat today, man.
Oh, hey, thanks. The sun's
Is
shining.
the tash growing back? Is the tash coming back well?
Yeah, you know what I'm doing is I'm going lamb chops. I'm going full Lemmy. So I'm going mustache to lamb chop.
Dude, there was a guy on, we do a thing over here, I don't know if you have it over there, called Movember, right? And there's a guy over here on one of the ads, Kevin pointed out to me, he's got the mustache. It comes down, right down the chin. But dude, he goes too far, right? It then goes right down his pecs and onto his chest. That's just too far, right?
That is funny, man. That is funny.
It's epic. I'll need to find a picture of it. When we do hour number 2 today, Jimmy, I'll be getting all your latest on the Hollywood celebrity TMZ gossip from the Alec Baldwin show.
I swear I haven't looked at it since we talked about it because I was
we'll take
100%
a look at it
right.
live, man. We'll do a live dive on it.
Oh hell yeah, I was right though, is what I'm saying. The Speculation Island scenario where the union quit walked away with his keys to his prop trailer, him having a bunch of people, him being in charge of how much it costs. He said, just give me something, I need something in here. And they were apparently that they were using that gun for target practice out in the desert.
Yeah, I was reading that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a strange setup, that one, Don. I wouldn't fancy being Alec Baldwin anytime round about now.
Well, you never point a gun at anybody, whether it's loaded or not. And,
absolutely.
And he should go to jail.
Especially as somebody who's not even acting in the movie, the one you're not even in a scene with that person, and that person's somebody you're shooting.
At all for you to be handling that. There's no way that should have been in the state it was in. There's so many violations. They should be throwing away the key, but it'll probably be a fall guy. It'll probably be the prop manager or the armorer or something, you know.
Oh well, his daughter's married to Justin Bieber. Maybe they'll get a break.
We played him yelling at his daughter on Kev's show on Saturday on Extra.
Big shout out to Sprinter Boy and Bobby Trizzle over there on the disco. Yes, indeed.
What's
Disco
up, Bobby?
Inferno.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing some gaming on there in the next couple of days, and we'll be taking my football/soccer skills onto Twitch. So you can all get a laugh at that when I try that one.
Yeah.
Well,
we're still on break.
We're still on break. I'm watching the time here, Don. I'm trying to time it for when the music should be finishing, so that when it's in the archive, it'll sound okay, you know.
That looks like a Volkswagen. Is that a Volkswagen?
It's a Vauxhall Corsa.
Oh, Vauxhall. Oh,
yeah,
and they're going to give you a car.
Yep.
That's sweet, huh, Don?
Lucky.
Here we
you
go.
lucky dog.
I know, dude. He's gonna be cruising around with. He's gonna be cruising around with his camera, going to cathedrals.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, you see, there's such good chemistry here. It's like three guys hanging in the bar. Only we don't have a bar and there's no alcohol, so it's nothing like hanging in the bar. I've got Jimmy with me. I've got Don Whiskin. I thought he was gonna pull out a lager or a beer there. Yeah. No, see, Don's on the water. He's on the hard stuff. I like it, Don.
Oh, yeah.
I've got nice cup of tea here, as us Scottish people do. Jimmy's locked and loaded. We're ready to go. We're just talking cars there coming back from the break.
Mm-hmm.
And yourselves and the audience might be pleased to know there'll be a lot of new type of content coming to the YouTube aspect of the Kev Baker Show soon when I am mobile and I'm out there in my wheels and I'm able to go to places like, Stirling Castle, the Falkirk Triangle, where we get the Kelpies, the UFOs, you name it. We'll be taking a look round Rosslyn Chapel, maybe.
Oh man!
So I'm going to be, a lot of new kind of historic / archaeological / mystery.
Dude, you should send away. You should send away for a pair of those glasses that have the cameras in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they're like $20. They're like USB cameras in the glasses because isn't there some of those places you're not allowed to bring cameras in there?
No, I'm thinking though, Don, if we get Extendovite slapped right across the side of the car, it'd be even better, right? What do you think?
Oh yeah, man.
We're gonna all livered up like a stock car.
Should get a magnetic, man. That's badass. Yeah. Good idea.
Anyway, Don, for people out there who might be tuning in for the very first time, tell people about Extendovite. What was the herbs in it? Where did you get it from? Where can they check out more about it? Do your thing, Don.
Okay, Extendovite has garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. And it's quite a combination. It really is. These herbs do a lot of different things. They're really quite surprising. But we mix them all together into a thing called Extendovite, and you can get it at heartdrop.com. That's HEARTDROP.com. You can also find us at Amazon, Amazon.com, and you can also call us at 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. That's toll free in North America. For people who aren't in North America, I think you can call 001-613-376-6229. and that will get you directly through. We've had a lot of people from overseas call us on our standard number because they couldn't get it any other way. Their toll-free number is only in North America.
Do you get a good turnout from Scotland, Ireland, Don?
I've got, yes, we have a few, and we have a lot from England and the UK and France, and I can't just start listing off the name of the countries, but we have a lot of countries over there that are buying. And as I said earlier, New Zealand and Australia right now are on COVID lockdown and have been for about a month, and they cut the airmail off, so we can't airmail them anything. It's all ground, and it's over 12 weeks. So,
and you've got all that shipping container thing going on over in both coasts and over here as well. How's that affecting things?
Thank God we have our product made right here in Canada, and they ship it on a truck to our house, so that's not a problem. We have lots in stock. But airmail is still good for most places. As you know, for even you, Kev, we can ship it to you in
6 days.
6 days. What do you think of that?
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course, I could fly
with
there.
Everything going on in the world, it's insane.
Yeah, it is. But our deliveries are quite good. They're a little slow in the U.S. because the U.S., they've got a postmaster who is trying to destroy the post office, and they're trying to get him out, but he's in there pretty deep. So Louis DeJoy is his name. He took away a lot of the sorting machines before Christmas last year because he didn't, he was working with Trump, and they didn't want the votes to come in through the mail. So they were destroying the mail so that they couldn't do the voting through the mail. But it's affecting the whole thing. We've had it so slow a while back that, it took almost a month to get there on land. But
Jimmy James, you going to get a grip of your country or what, Jimmy? Jimmy, come on, you need to take it back. You need to make America great again, dude.
Well, I was saying that the other day. I mean, what's everybody waiting for? I mean, is it waiting for somebody? What's people waiting for? There's somebody to wave a flag and say, "Hey, let's bring business back to America." Why don't people just see an opportunity and make do? Make a company right now. Nice. Start a company. Do something. Make some money up. Look, jump out there with a van. I mean, you know what? You know how many? Right now, the biggest thing that's happening is deliveries.
Yep.
If you got a van right now, or you got a truck, and you're not working, there's something the matter with you, man. Seriously, there's so much opportunity out there right now for people who really want to, who just are, want to get past their fear threshold and step out there and take a chance. The only way
is it the same up in Canada with the heavy goods drivers? Over here in the UK, we're struggling to fill roles over here, and is it the same up there?
Yeah, we're short of truck drivers. We're short of everything. But during this COVID, there was so much money being paid to individuals to stay at home.
Yep.
And that just ended on the 23rd of October. So people now have to get back to work. But there were so many jobs that were not filled because people were on $500 a week to stay at home. And nobody wanted to work when you're giving them $500 a week to stay at home.
No, people can't be blamed for that, Jimmy, right? And you talked about something called the Great Resignation before. You can't blame people when it's more beneficial financially and probably for your mental health. Just stay in the house, gather in the money.
Yeah, I mean, just think of how that makes you feel to be able to be home with your kids and actually sit there and make a meal and sit at home and cook your own food instead of going out and sitting there and really, starting to, gather up these new awarenesses of the things that we're missing in your life. You know what I mean? And so now you got money.
I was thinking about this as well. Sorry, Jim. I was thinking about this as well, but, we often talk about how, what do we do to change this? And Jimmy says, rightly so a minute ago, go and get up, go and do something about it. If it's quite ironic, really, because although at times it's like we're under the boot of very authoritarian regimes, whether it's Scotland, England, Canada, the UK, Australia in particular. But if anything from the last 2 years, if we're to learn anything, we can bring the system to its knees. We were all happy to stay home when our governments told us to, right? So if we were to all not comply en masse at a time when the governments are wanting to get things going again, you see how that could really change things? And we could keep the essentials going like they did during the pandemic. They showed us how to buckle the system, folks. Now we just have to do it. But after me being on my high horse, Don, after me being on my high horse, what have you got to say to that?
You know, I was an entrepreneur most of my life. I've always had, I was in the roofing business when I first got involved in this. You know, I had a heart attack in 1998 and I had a roofing company. I had a pile of people working for me. I was not ready. I mean, I turned 43 in the hospital. I was not ready to slow down. And they were trying to slow me down because I had a heart attack and lots of damage to my heart. But I was still out there. I joined the Healthy Heart Club. I learned about diet and exercise. I was out there working almost every day that I could. And, you know, my guys, they only pretty well missed 2 weeks while I was in the hospital of work. So, you know, I kept going pretty good. But all my life, I've pretty well been a bit of an entrepreneur or working for someone, and I gave it everything I had. I mean, I always gave it everything I had. But I'm 66 now, but I still think, oh, Jesus, what if I had to go to work? What would I be doing? Yeah, what kind of company would I start? But there's a lot of opportunities out there for people who want to do something. You just have to take a chance.
Yeah, I think it's in the DNA. Some people are workers, they're doers, they're go-getters. Other people, they like things to come to them, and that's okay. We're all different. Everyone's unique. You definitely have that feel about you, Don. You don't wait for something to come to you. You go out there and grab it. And I suspect Jimmy Jeans, you're cut from a similar cloth. It's an old school type of cloth, boys. You know, the younger generations now, and no offense to them, it's the system, it's the world they're growing up in. They really maybe don't have that same mindset, that same ethos, Jim. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on, it depends on how you grow up, It's like where I grew up, there was a lot of single moms in my neighborhood. So there was a lot of young guys like myself. We had a little group of dudes that hung around together or whatever. We were always figuring out ways to make money back then. We were fixing bikes. We were selling bikes. We were, man, there was these, I remember there was these avocado trees this guy had. It was pretty much a residential area in San Diego. This guy had a bunch of avocado trees. He didn't do anything with them. They just sat there and grew in those trees, man. We were kids. We just climb up in those trees, man, and pick those avocados, man. Go down to the grocery store. And we used to stand out in front of the grocery store with a basket. And we would sell those things for $1, man. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we were kids, but we were out there making money because that's how you did. No one was giving us any money. I got a paper route so I could buy a motorcycle when I was a boy.
I can officially call you the hustler now. The hustler. I like it, man. Yeah, Jimmy the hustler.
I've always been a hustler, man. Because you know what? If you don't work, you don't eat, man. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it used
to. Talking of eating, we've covered this before, but sometimes I think it's good to cover it again because somebody like me, if I was first coming to this and I heard garlic, I'd think to myself, well, maybe I can cook with this stuff, Don. That takes some of the goodness away, right?
Totally. If you cook with, well, even when you do cook with garlic, let's say, all of the goodness is cooked. It's gone. What really is good about the garlic is crushed. And you get the allicin out of it. It's the allicin content that you want, and you can't cook that out unless you cook it in like an alcohol base, which is our tincture. Even our capsules, they have a way of processing it all. It's all processed through. All the herbs are ground up and joined all together. There's absolutely no fillers in what we got going on here in the Extendivite. So, but herbs. They taste really good when you cook with them, but they're not healthy for changing your health.
And I love it over in America and Canada, Jimmy. It's herbs. Over here in the UK, we're more herbs. You see, herbs and herbs.
Mm-hmm. Your sound,
tomatoes.
The sound of the herbs. It sounds
Yeah.
a lot. It sounds a lot nicer. It sounds a lot nicer.
That's herbal herb.
Hey, well, let me ask you this question. What do you think about hemp seeds as a form of protein, as far as being packed with all kinds of really good stuff? Have you looked into the hemp seeds at all? Either one of you two guys?
Years ago, I'm sure I did. I know that they used to be in bird seed and everything, but they've taken it out of bird seed. There's a lot of things it's missing from. They were used quite extensively, and there's still, you can get the oils, you can get the seeds, you can get them all from health food stores because they are healthy and they do help change your world. But there's a lot of things out there that grow that are good for you. You just have to know what to eat and what not to eat.
Now, Don, you mentioned the carpal tunnel earlier on. That might be one of the kind of syndromes, ailments that people might not associate when you mention Extendivite and working for the heart, things like that. What other symptoms does it treat? What other kind of things is it beneficial for?
I'm not really sure, to tell you the truth, because there's so many things that this thing does. When you talk to somebody, they'll say, "Oh, it's done this. It's brought my blood pressure down." Well, in some cases, it doesn't help the blood pressure, but in some people, it helps the blood pressure a lot. There's other things that it seems to do, but I don't really know because I don't have a list here in front of me of all of the ailments that we've overcome. But we've overcome a lot because once you get the blood flowing properly, you get the liver cleaned out, your health can change. If you go to heartdrop.com and read the about us, we have a doctor on there who's saved a lot of people's lives over the years with just supplements and natural medicine. He's changed the way that they eat, and he's changed the way that they take supplements. And if they weren't too late, he helps reverse their diseases, no matter what they seem to be. Because, and he says right here, what's happening, two basic denominators in almost every disease. One is yeast overgrowth in the gut, and the others is metal in the liver. So when you combine the two together, they create peroxides in the system. And with a little research, you'll find that in almost every disease, one way or the other, comes from peroxide damage to the membrane. And once we get the heavy metals out of your liver, your body doesn't seem to create the peroxides anymore. So that's a heck of a point right there, because all diseases come from either yeast in the gut or metals in the liver, and Extendivite takes care of them both, thank God.
And there's that free radicals. Used to hear that term all the time, bandied about. It's only since I started working with Don, since we've had Don come onto the show. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And anyone can go over there to heartdrop.com. That's heartdrop.com. Go to About Us. Not only can you read Dr. Matson's story, you can hear and you can read about Don Wiskin's own personal story as well, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm telling you right now, I said it before, I'll say it one more time, I'll say it again. I didn't anticipate having any effects. Like I said, I don't really feel like anything was wrong with me, and I wasn't looking to take anything. But once I started taking Extendivite, I guess it was probably around a month, I started to notice, that my legs were feeling a little bit better after, sitting for a bunch of hours. Felt like my blood was flowing better. So I mean, I know, I'm telling you from my own personal I took.
Well, I know from our conversations, because you mentioned to me, how Don had reached out to you
Mm-hmm.
and helped you, and so I know for a fact that what you're saying, what we talked about off air as well. So yeah, I'll back you up on that one, Jimbo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
well,
the thing.
you know, it's
You judge a tree by its fruits. Okay,
yeah.
and so all I have to say is I have nothing but good things to say about Don, and I recommend Extendivite extensively. And Don helps support my show, and I love helping support Don. And I tell you right now, I get feedback from my show of people that have join the Extendivite family, and I get nothing but good reports, man. So all I got to say is, all the feedback that I've gotten and my personal experience, everything is great.
Yeah,
So that's
same here, Don. Same here.
Yeah. Well, they say, Dr. Matson says, products like Extendivite is the only way we're going to get our society healthy. And if you're waiting for the government or pharmaceutical care to solve your health problems, you're going to have a long, disappointing wait, I think. And you have to understand your body is programmed to heal that way. You have to heal yourself. Healthcare isn't going to solve all your problems. We need to take charge of our own healthcare and be responsible for our own health.
Awesome. And that little shout you heard there was a new subscriber over on Twitch. Thank you very much, Jack the Cat. But yeah, it's weird, really. The more advanced we've gotten, guys, we've kind of devolved when it comes to looking after ourselves, right? Because, our evolutionary path, the good and the benefits of what all plants and herbs done for us was well known. That's how we got here. So we cured a lot of stuff back in the day, but we've kind of become complacent because we're used to just putting out the fires as opposed to treating what's actually at the root of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird, we have become so brilliantly technologically advanced. And I'm not knocking Medicare either, medicine, because look at the things that they're able to do now. But at the same time, we ourselves as humans, we've kind of become complacent with it. And, we need to get back to really looking out for our own health. If anything, from the past couple of years, I think we can all agree. There's not much we all agree on, but I think we can all agree that Big Pharma doesn't have our best benefits at heart. And I think getting back to basics, getting back to nature, I think it's got to be the way forward, Don.
Well, God did say that he would leave everything here for us to live, to be healthy, the herbs, the food, everything here. We just have to indulge, and we have to stop, overeating in meats and other things along that line. We have to really pay attention to our diet, and that's the only way we're going to stay healthy. And I hope to live for maybe 20 more years if that's at all possible. But it's all done by eating properly and exercise. I mean, I walk on my treadmill every single day, and I lift weights every single day while I'm walking on my treadmill.
Don whisking, pumping the iron. That's what I like to hear, man.
You bet. That's what you like to hear.
Awesome, man. And I'm telling you, Jimmy, he's got it all going on there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want the ultimate body, you want the body that you see on TV.
Temple, Jim, it's temple, man.
It is, but the only way to get that body is through diet. You don't even have to exercise. I swear to God, if you eat right and you drink enough water, so much fat will fall off of you that it will literally blow your mind. Your pants will be falling off of you. I went through this whole thing. I'm not telling people what to do, but I went through this whole thing where I was drinking my body weight in water every day. So I was drinking 160 ounces of water every single day. And people go, oh, man, you're going to have to go to the bathroom all the time. And it's not true. It doesn't really work out that way. But what I can tell you is I literally dropped so much weight because my body didn't get water. And so constantly my body is holding this water because it's afraid it's not going to get any because I don't drink any. And so that's what we do is we hold a bunch of water weight And if you start drinking more water, you'll be amazed. Just in those things, get your diet straight and drink water. Those things, and go for a walk. Those things right there, you'll lose so much weight you'll not even believe it, if that's something that you want to do.
As long as your pants don't fall off when you're taking the walk because you're drinking so much water, then we got issues, right?
There's always an issue, but don't worry, you can overcome. You just have to get past your threshold of fear, and then once you can move beyond your comfort zone and step away and take a chance. Just like I did.
He's on fire now. You look at me, he's in the groove now, Don.
No, I'm just saying, step out, take a chance. I took a chance with Extendovite, and look I got benefits. If I didn't take that chance, I would have never known that it worked for me, and I wouldn't be able to sit here right now and tell you that it does.
Did you honestly just say that Don Wiskin is a friend with benefits? That could come across all wrong. All wrong.
Well, you're right. It is 2022 almost now, isn't it?
Absolutely. I tell you, just getting to 2022 will be a bonus. Don, what have you got planned for the rest of the month? You looking forward to Halloween coming up? Anything on the horizon?
Yeah, we got a party coming up on Saturday,
Nice.
So that'll be neat. We went out and bought a couple of costumes, so
what are you dressing up as, man?
well, it's a space theme, so I'm dressing up as William Shatner.
Nice.
Great, man. Wow.
I've got one of those blue suits, blue coveralls. It says NASA on it, and it has some American patches on the shoulders. It came with a NASA hat, so it should all be Jeff Bezos, but we'll have to put up with NASA.
Just minor details, Don. Minor details.
Yeah.
I can picture Jimmy. Jimmy looks like the kind of guy that likes to go to a costume party now and again, doesn't he?
I've definitely been to my share of costume parties, my friend. But I'll tell you this. I mean, this year I think I'm just going to be the dude.
You know what you do, Jimmy? Put on a suit, grab a pillow, and you can be Mike Lindell. Easy.
And then I can sing that song, Tears on My Pillow.
You can be the pillow guy. So before we wrap up here, Don, let people know the website, the phone number, any other details you need to get out there, brother.
Sure. You can go to extendovite.com as well. It goes to heartdrop.com. That's XTENDOVITE.com. That's how you spell Extendovite. It's got a big X right there because we're trying to extend your life. Vite is Latin for life. But there we are, heartdrop.com, HEARTDROP.com. And 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Feel free to call. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern Time. We like our weekends, so we do kind of get away on those times. But Monday through Friday, we're hustling our tail off, and we're ready for you, whatever you need.
Nice. And Don will be back with us next month, ladies and gentlemen. A big thank you to Don. Please check out heartdrop.com. And we'll be back after these short messages with hour number 2 on the Kev Baker Show. Don't go anywhere. There we go. Don, always a pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure.
Fantastic.
And I'm sure that'll go into the archive, but I'll check with that. But thank you again, Don.
No worries. Thank you, and thanks a lot, Jimmy.
Hey, no problem. Hey, Don, can you resend those? Audios again? I forgot to take them out, man. And every day I'm thinking to myself, man, I better download these today. And then the other day, it was the day where I said I should have downloaded those today.
I'm gonna go and get a quick coffee, Jimmy. Right? But I'll say goodbye just now, Don.
All right.
And,
okay.
I'll catch you again next month, Jimmy. I'm just gonna be 2 minutes.
Yeah. So hey, Don, I'm gonna put this up on Aftermath. Podcast style. So
fantastic.
Yeah, and just to let you know, because in case you didn't know, so they put our show. We play primetime every day in the morning. So we're on with all the biggest. We're on right at 9 a.m. Pacific. So we're on with all the biggest people, and
we listen to you. Every
great.
now and then.
Well, we haven't made it into the top 10 yet, but we've stayed.
No, but you're on at noon. We listen to you at noon, and then you're on again at 5,
Yeah.
which is my time.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, but the like right now we're playing right now, and we're number 7, and the show from last night is playing right now. So
Yeah.
And so, but the morning show though, the reason I was bringing it up is the morning show, even though we're in the top 20, but there's 200 shows playing that at that time, and to even be anywhere in, to me, us being in the top.
Oh yeah.
To me, we make it up. We when David Knight goes off the air, we drop down to like number 45, and we climb all the way back up to number 15 consistently every single day. So I mean, I'm really happy with what's happening in the morning. Even because it's a late night show, but it's the topical content seems to be viable in the morning with what's going on. So I'm really stoked on it, and that means that people are listening too. So. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Don, for all the support. We really appreciate you a lot, man. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
Right on, man. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
We got to go.
Okay, bro. See you later. There he goes, Don. And I think Kev's getting something to drink somewhere. I don't know what he's doing, what Kev's doing. He's somewhere here. He's getting coffees, which I'd like to get some coffee. Well, I got coffee, but it's cold.
There we go.
You back, sir?
Don, I will let you get back to it, sir.
Yeah. For some reason, I can't hang up on you.
I'll get you. There we go. There we go.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Don Wiskin.
The Don.
The Don.
Just getting ready to go back to the network here. There's the Jimmy.
So me and you are battling it out. I'm number...
Yeah, no, you know me, dude. Yeah, you can keep that to yourself, man. I'm going to take us back. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Hour number 2 on today's Kev Baker show. Great hearing from Don Wiskin again there. In hour number 1, remember, check out heartdrop.com. Big shout out to everyone over on Twitch today. Numbers are going up there by the day. 11 people. Latest subscriber or follower, I don't even know what you call them. I don't know the nomenclature. The jargon for Twitch. I think it's follower. It's a Jack the Cat. So with that said, from Jack the Cat to Jimmy the Hat, dude, let's go full Hollywood TMZ moment. You're my man on the ground there, not in Hollywood, but definitely closer than I am. Alec Baldwin, the gun going off. What's all the latest, Jimbo?
Well, dude, I mean, since we talked about it, I haven't even really looked at it because I saw a bunch of stuff. Now, I saw that the girl who was shot, one of the things that I've seen subsequent to our discussion the other day, and for people who didn't hear it, we'll reiterate that. Again, because it turns out that a lot of what we said, just then when we got the information seems to be panning out. So anyway, there's some news. The newest information that I found about it was that the girl who was shot was a Satanist, apparently. Or I should say a Luciferian.
Did the internet tell you this, or have we got anything to base this on?
No, there's a couple of tweets. There's a couple of tweets and so forth. I'd have to go dig them out. I did send them. I didn't send them to you.
I'm liking it though. I'm liking the fact that you're able to tell me there's a little bit of evidence to back this up. I'm liking it. It adds to the woo factor, dude.
Well, there's the woo factor because then there's the girl who was supposedly the prop master, and there was a quite a strange TikTok video from that person, which is where she was singing some song and she was pressing on her nose, making it look like she was a piggy, and she was a little plumper there, and she had these I don't even know how to describe it. And then the video was she was saying something along with some music, and she was pushing her nose up like a little piggy, and then the video switched.
Is this some hidden Illuminati code? Is it?
It looked like she was saying she's like a little piggy, and then
Oink oink.
she switched the video, and everything. The music got really dark, and she started going all evil, and something about I can't even really repeat it here on TFR, just simply because it's pretty rough, man, with what she was saying. But I can dig out the video and get it for you, and you can take a look at it yourself. It's quite interesting. So the character or the caricature around this whole thing is pretty interesting. But then you have the individual himself, which is I mean the evidence that's out there around the dude in general before this ever even happened. I mean, just shows you what kind of a person he is, right? So we've seen over the years, we've seen a guy with a temper. We've seen a guy with a political axe to grind against, Trump on Saturday Night Live. We've seen a lot of dark, satirical representations of the Orange Man, that some people found funny. I don't think they were thinking the jokes that were going around were too funny that were happening there with about what happened. There's been some jokes and some memes going around. Not really that funny, but they're funny in the sense that they're ironic. Because
dark humor, right?
Exactly. Exactamundo. I mean, you had Don Trump Jr. apparently said, guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin kills people. Which, I mean, that stings, right? But I mean, is that any worse than some of the stuff?
In your opinion, Jim, I mean, I think you know more about this case than I do. I hear mixed kind of feelings about Alec Baldwin. Do you see him being culpable in any way? Should he be charged in this? I've seen one article there. I've just taken a quick cursory look, folks, but the Baldwin shooting, police say arrests may come over Hylna Hutchins passing. There was complacency, so what do you think, dude?
Well, I would say there's a lot of reasons why he's responsible. Okay, let's just start at the first one, which is I'm making a movie. I'm the executive producer of that movie. I'm responsible for everything about the movie. I'm responsible for how much things cost. I'm responsible for the people. I'm responsible for safety. I'm responsible for everything. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing is he's not just the executive producer who's responsible for everything, but he's also playing a role in the actual thing he's doing. So
tell all your fans your business, dude. You need to tell them.
It's
all these messages coming in here, so you know what I'm saying?
No, it's Don. It was Don sending me some audio files. So I'm sorry about that, everybody, for the wrap.
No, I'm having a, you know me, dude.
I
It's
know,
good fun.
You're just breaking my balls. I know. You're shooting me like Alec Baldwin over there. You see me, you saw something moving. No, but so here you got this situation. So apparently there was pay problems. Okay?
Yeah.
There was money problems early on in the day. And then the union people, the guys doing the lighting and everything, all the people doing the work to basically make the movie happen, the real working people behind the scenes there that make it all fly, including the prop master, including everybody, they said, hey, pay up or we're out of here. They didn't pay up. They were out of here. Right? So they left. So I'll just tell you, I've been in the unions my whole life. As far as working, on construction job sites, I'm telling you right now, if you're a union company and some dude didn't pay you and you're walking off the job site, I guarantee you they walked off with the keys to every trailer on that on that movie set in their pocket. He had no way to.
Too soon.
He had no way to get in the trailer to even get the prop. So at the point that he's got everything set up, they're ready for a shot. If you don't get some film in the can today, you got all these people standing around. You got no gun for your whatever scene you're shooting. Apparently somebody said, hey, and this is what we were saying the other day before we even knew about it. We said, hey, given those circumstances, when I can't get in the prop trailer, I have no prop master, I have no way to do this, but I have some sort of a firearm on site. Just get me the firearm and put blanks in it. and maybe a mistake got made. Maybe a mistake got made, but why would you put yourself in that position? Why don't you just call the shot for the day and go walk away? And why would you?
Because we heard him, dude. We heard him. Like, we heard him talking to his daughter. We played a clip the last time we were on, folks. And, you know, if you want to hear a classic narcissist / psychopath, go take a listen to how Alec Baldwin talks to his own family, his own daughter. You know, there can be no closer bond typically between father and daughter, right? Damn, if that's a window into his personality, dude. That's why he wasn't willing to give up a moment's, you know, shoot time and stuff.
I'll tell you what, dude.
Shoot time,
if I was
he was reloading. Sorry, dude. He was reloading.
All right, cool. I'm just saying, if I just keep that, and you make sure you keep that weapon pointed to the ground, because this dude's got a temper. He may even come after me. He went after some dude on some small channel who made a comment about him a couple years ago, I guess.
How cool would that be for the Kev Baker show? I'm sorry, folks, but from a marketing point of view, if Alec Baldwin comes after us, that's like click heaven.
Okay,
honestly.
well, here, I'll get him to come after you right now, because if I was a district attorney, you know what I'd be saying?
Call him out, Jimmy. Come on, call him out. Come on,
I'd put a
Baldwin.
warrant. I want him to come in and speak to why he was pointing a weapon of any kind, whether it's a prop or any kind of a weapon. Why was he even pointing that weapon on someone who wasn't in the scene with him? Why is he pointing the weapon at the assistant director and pulling the trigger? That's what I don't understand. Why is he? There you go. That's how it is. And you know the prisons
That's how it went down, dude. That's how it went down. Baldwin, call us liars. Come on, here, Baldwin. Come on, we're calling you out, Baldwin.
Hey, dude, that's how it went down. And let me just tell you, the prisons are full of people who did the same exact thing. They pulled the trigger, the bullet went out of the gun, and somebody ended up dead. It was a millisecond mistake. Sorry about that. But guess what? Go up to San Quentin.
I know it's going to happen, dude. I know it's going to happen, right? I know it's going to happen. They're going to do him. They're going to charge him. He's going to get put into jail. Within a month, he's going to end up on that island that they all go off to. You know that one where they've got the tunnel from the prison off to the island where they'll live happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the club, Jimmy. He's in the Illuminati.
Well,
I know it's too soon, folks, but that's how I roll. It's a dark sense of humor. You either love it or hate it, you know.
That assistant director was also the union rep.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, so I mean, she's the union rep. Now a bunch of people, obviously, since this happened, people have dug into the person.
And there's a Clinton connection, right?
Exactly. There's always a Clinton connection. But apparently there's some connections there, but there's also connections. Somehow there's some dirt, apparently, on Trump also. There's
dirt on everyone, dude. It's great, isn't it? It's great. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. I know times are hard, they're confusing. It can be scary, but at the same time, what period in history would you rather be witnessing other than this right now? Front row seat to the apocalypse.
Well,
the true revealing of everything, of the good and the bad, the heinous, the delightful. It's all there. It's a great experience, Jimbo. Telling you, man.
The dirt angle doesn't make sense because they didn't kill the person who had the dirt, which is the attorney. You don't kill.
My logic. I'm having a bit of fun with this. We like to have a bit of fun with Jim. I'll give my honest, logical opinion. I think we're just looking at a series of crazy blunders. No Illuminati. No star whackers. No rituals going on. Hey, I don't know, but logically, I think disaster, perfect storm of crazy events led up to somebody not going home.
Well, the dude,
not good.
Another guy that was working on the movie, also was working on the movie The Crow.
Now this is where it gets all metaphysical, and you can't ignore the coincidences, right?
I'm a
Not in Hollywood. The magician's wand.
I'm the coincidence noticer. That's what I do. And so
I like that. Coincidence analyzer.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, when they start adding up, the thing is, I'm always on the fence on whether the coincidences really add up, or is it just that I have access to all the coincidences?
And Jimmy, we both appreciate, right, that the human mind, it's like AI. It looks for patterns. And our mind, like the AI, sometimes it finds patterns that aren't even there. But there's still patterns, but whether they're relevant or not, that's the question, isn't it?
It is the question. And, you know, the biggest question is, like, last night I was doing this thing about why the majority is always wrong. And it's interesting because we only use our brain something like 20% of the time to actually think, and the rest of the time we're on automatic pilot. So we spend 80% of our life.
Muscle memory, dude. Muscle memory.
Exactly. We spend 80% of our life on automatic pilot, man.
Well, get this, Jimmy. You know, you've brought the Vedic texts and the Mahabharata.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I can say that, folks, but I can't say most English words. You've taken that to the table before. You know how I love my General Bakshi.
Sir, can I please, sir? My name is G.D. Bakshi. Just in case you have an identity crisis. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, he's written a new book, Jimmy, all about consciousness.
Oh, nice.
All about how the Vedics ties in with quantum and Schrodinger and the kind of stuff you're talking about right here, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should
so he's got a new epic level of Supreme Commander of Wu Bakshi.
Well, you should have him come on. You should reach out to him.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to work my Geordie Rose magic. I'm trying to make the universe line up the dominoes, but it is what it is. I've thrown it out there, my man. I've thrown it out there. It's in the consciousness. If it's gonna be, it's gonna be.
Well, we were doing this thing last night about confronting your comfort zone. And one of the pieces in there was this discussion with Alan Watt, and he was talking about people that are, seeking a spiritual attainment, and they go someplace, like they go to India or someplace, and they find themselves a guru. And when they see this guru, the guru looks at him, and the guru has this sort of smile on his face. And the person who's experiencing the Buddha having this, or the guru having this smile on his face, is uncomfortable because he feels as though the Buddha is looking through him, and he can see inside of the very things that he hides, all his secrets, and that's why the Buddha is smiling. The Buddha is laughing at him, or the guru is, smiling, because he can see inside of the person. But in reality, what it is the reason that the Buddha or the guru was smiling was
just
not...
stick with the Buddha. The Buddha's cooler, man. I used to work with a guy who looked like the Buddha.
Did
the wee belly, had the wee shiny head, the wee Buddha.
The reason he's smiling is not because he sees your flaws or he sees your deepest, darkest secrets. It's that, and he recognizes God in you, and he realizes that you are God coming through to him, and whatever it is about you that needs help or attention, that's his opportunity to prove himself again. So it's an interesting...
Plus, I would imagine, Jimmy, there's an appreciation there that, that other individual, only individual in hardware, in body, spiritually, we're all connected. So working on somebody else, helping somebody else, in a way is working on yourself too.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever hear about that Santilli telescope thing?
Yeah, they could see the extra, the entities, the non-biological entities. I would like to state that along with Melissa and Aaron Dykes and Joe Joseph, we were amongst the first to put that out there. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Indeed.
There
I have my narcissistic moment right now, Jimbo.
Well, hey, man, let credit go.
That there, and for people who don't know what we're talking about, this was a telescope that the idea was you'd be able to spot dark matter staring up into space, and then one day the telescope kind of fell horizontal out onto the horizon. And this scientist, funnily enough, by the name of Santilli, called the Santilli lenses.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they use in this telescope. He looked through it, not expecting to see anything. Only problem, he was starting to see what were entities that the human eye wasn't catching. And that's what led us to this non-biological entity type 1 and non-biological entity type 2.
Mm-hmm.
My brain has an amazing capacity for recalling all of this good woo, Jimmy. I can picture the guy sitting there with his little hat on, talking in his crazy cool Italian accent about his lenses. And but it just shows you. And it was David Icke that first really opened my eyes to this. But it's a scientific fact. Whoever opened your eyes to it. Our eyes are amazing. Look at the brilliant colors that we see. Look at the amazing world around us. But they're very, very limited. Because on either side of visible light, there's an entirely different world out there that is escaping our vision. But with things like the Santilli lenses, we start to see that we're not alone. There's things all around us. We might not be able to see them ourselves, but these things share the same, dare I say, time and space, only we can't capture that light. So yeah, and then factor in all the other dimensions, the other worlds.
Well,
we could full woo, ooga booga. We're on the way, man.
You know, it's wild, man, is I didn't even know that you guys were the ones that broke that, because I really...
Well, I wouldn't say we broke it, but we were definitely right up there at the start. I remember that because it was at the time when I was fully immersed in the CERN and all that kind of stuff as well, you know?
I'm glad that you do, and that you did, and that you just went into that explanation, because it had to do with my... something that happened to me when we were talking about it. Okay, so now I was never really aware of it until like yesterday or the day before yesterday. I think Monday was the first time I ever watched the video with the guy with the hat. So I wasn't aware of it back when it happened. But what happened to me when I was listening to it, and later on in the show, it dawned on me, and it was that it's not that those things don't exist. It's just that we didn't have the lens in order to see it. And I thought to myself, is exactly how we are as human beings. That our lens that we put out there over the world only allows us to see certain stuff. Regardless of what's possible to see, we still only see through our lens that we use, and everybody has their filter or their lens on how they look at the world or how they look at things. And I was just thinking at how some, like, for example, you might be the kind of person that can see ghosts, or you see orbs, or you hear voices, or like this type of thing, because you happen to have a lens. Your lens allows you...
It's like, well, put it another way, Jimmy, right? It's like when we were talking with Don, the extendovite, because we're all uniquely individual, our bodies are all made up just our own way. Everything affects us on that unique kind of level. So one person's lens to their eye is not going to be the same as another person's lens to their eye. Add to that the brain's capacity to filter out the noise, to maybe render some things that other people can't render around them. But they're still there. And I think to lead us up to the break, this is, I like doing this sometimes, because me and Jimmy have been doing this a long time. And it's easy for people like me and Jim to talk about non-biological entities and just expect that everyone else knows what we're talking about. But if you're sitting out there and that's the first time you've heard this telescope seeing things around us ain't there, well, I've got you covered. Me and Jimbo's got you covered. We're going to play the clip. It's only 5 minutes. You'll hear all about it here.
Nice.
Take a listen to this, folks. It's going to come in a wee second.
Since the dawn of our civilization, all the way to the time of this breaking news, we humans believed that everything that exists up there is only what we can see with our eyes and with our optical instruments. Well, things have changed now, because we have established the existence of entities existing in our terrestrial environment. And these entities are completely invisible to our eyes as well as to our optical instruments, but are fully visible with new instruments, therefore dramatically enlarging our conception of the perceivable universe with far-reaching possibility of future development and discoveries that perhaps are beyond our imagination at this time.
The revolutionary Santilli telescope is designed to detect antimatter in deep space. By antimatter, we mean an entity with characteristics that are the exact opposite of ordinary matter, including the index of refraction of light, which is opposite. As you can see in the diagram, we have two telescopes, the Santilli and the Galileo. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that the only real difference between the two is the lens. Notice that the Galileo uses a convex lens, whereas the Santilli telescope uses a concave lens. Now, when ordinary light passes through the Galileo telescope with the convex lens, that lens focuses the light and can be recorded, or the image recorded, by a digital camera. Should antimatter light pass through the convex lens, it would merely be dispersed along the walls of the telescope and not be focused at all. Now, the exact opposite happens with the Santilli telescope. When antimatter light passes through the concave lens, it is then focused and provides an image that can be recorded by a digital camera. Ordinary light would be dispersed among the walls of the telescope.
Galileo originally conceived and constructed his telescope for discovery in deep space. But as we all know, Galileo telescope is today used for all sorts of terrestrial view. Our telescope had essentially the same fate because it was originally conceived for the detection of antimatter galaxy way deep into space. However, to our great surprise, we discovered that our telescope can equally detect entities in our terrestrial environment that are completely invisible to our eyes, to our binoculars, or to Galileo telescope, but they are fully visible in cameras attached to our telescope, for which reason we call them invisible terrestrial entities.
Invisible terrestrial entities.
And the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat.
I know, I just had to, Jimmy. I just had to, because when we come back on the other side, I'm going to show how that might be the next wild card as we move towards the end of Black Pill October. And just around the corner, never fear, doom porn is near, because yes, it's going to be hashtag Dark Winter on KBS. We're getting ready for the full apocalypse, Jimmy. We're heading for the bunkers, man. You coming?
Let me just say, I'm in the bunker, son.
Oh, in the bunker, son. And we'll be back after the break. Don't go anywhere, folks. 3 short minutes and we'll be back with you right here on TFRlive.com. There we go. There we go. We've got 3 minutes, Jim.
All right, man.
Shove on some tunes, right?
Yeah, man.
We'll shove on some tunes so that we can...
you got 23 people over here at YouTube.
Dude, we've got record numbers on Twitch today. We're up to 16. We were at 18 at one point, man.
All right, man. Hey, Twitch, what's happening?
It's crazy over there.
Yeah, hey, what's going on, Twitch? Good to see you.
Jimmy's not much of a Twitch dude. He's not much of a Twitch dude.
No, I haven't been over there to Twitch yet. There we go, Jimmy. There we go, Jim. There we go, right? Couple of minutes, and we'll be back. Yeah, no worries, man.
Almost blew everyone's ears out before. I apologize, folks.
tie, hit.
There we go. Enough of that, Jimmy. Enough of that. Enough of that. We can talk our way through a couple of minutes before we come back. When you back on air, Jimbo?
Sorry, I was over here.
No, all good, man. All good. I caught you on the fly, man. At least you weren't getting naked or something.
No, no. I'm just trying to put this picture of these tacos up here on YouTube.
So oh, they look tasty,
Oh,
dude. They look
dude,
nice, man.
they were good, man. Look at those tacos, boy.
I was cooking some steaks last night in the foodie. Oh man! And let me tell you, folks, a good battery. We could have got this thing up and running again. Let me tell you, mwah.
Man,
Lovely, dude.
Well, someday, man. Someday. I wonder
Someday
if I could.
Me and you will share a steak, a Philly cheese steak sandwich,
man.
dude. I know you're in California, but while we're hanging by the dime, making sure there ain't no lost time in FEMA Region 9.
That's right, man. I'll tell you what.
Jimmy on the line. I tell you, that's pretty good, right?
That is good.
We could wear Calvin Klein, dude.
That was good.
Yeah, you like it?
I was, and we.
A good buzz about the Kev Baker show today. You know why? Because yesterday I was feeling good, and instead of pushing myself, I took a day off. And I'm going to bring us back, and I'll explain further. Not that anyone cares, but here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. All of the masses out there on TFRlive.com. Jimmy Jean's YouTube channel. Over in the Twitch. Or on the Twitch. Again, I'm getting used to the whole jargon around that place. I'm more known to the YouTube end of things. But we had record numbers over there today. I want to give everyone a special thank you. So stay tuned till the end of the show, Twitchers. And I'll be over to give you a very special shout out. But Jimmy James, he's a man that does his own show as well, over on Aftermath FM, where you can catch me on a Saturday, Sunday morning in the UK. But Jimmy, into the microcosm, how's it been going? And when can people hear you, man?
Tonight, 10:30 Pacific, immediately following Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero. We'll be there. Bells on, and it's Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And that means, you know what that means. Exactly. Man, you got me with the beam, you got me with the death ray, you got me with the beep, and the shotgun plus.
Dude, I can take this. It's almost like we planned this, right? Because I've got a story pulled up here. Before the break, we were listening to the whole Chantilly telescope things.
Right.
And then I, of course, had to butt in rudely with my soundboard with my favourite clip. Yes, one of my favourites, the whole Carol Rosen and
the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat.
Well, you see, earlier on this year, when we were playing 2021 bingo, I decided that full disclosure would be one of my picks, right? So I'm obviously a bit of confirmation bias going on here, Jimmy. I'm looking for headlines to fit that narrative. But we always talk about how expect something out of left field, okay? Mm-hmm. And we've seen for a couple of years, we've seen the whole build-up around the whole alien conversation. And thanks to listening to Alien Scientist, he gave me a way of looking at this, which I think is very relevant. And the whole hullabaloo, the whole build-up with the alien talk and stuff like that, although we've been covering it, from a psychological operations point of view, it was never directed at people into UFOs. It was directed at people who listened to the mainstream, who were programmed to think, oh, tinfoil hat stuff, X-Files, crazy people. It was designed to bring them from there to now to be to a place where when they hear stuff about aliens and UFOs, they don't just automatically dismiss it like they were once programmed to do. So with that in mind, and with the fact that we're talking about invisible entities in the last card, this story caught my attention, Jimmy. It really did. NASA calls for new ways to announce the discovery of alien life amid fears of misunderstandings. Now that's cool, but I don't need to read too far down before this gets even more interesting. And I get it. I hear the crowds out there, but Kev, it's NASA. I get it. I feel you. But we've still got to pay attention to what they're saying, because even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? And even in amongst all the lies and the misinfo, there's still nuggets come out. And NASA scientists have called for the world to agree, the world, because we're all globalists now, to agree in a productive way to announce the potential discovery of alien life on another planet. Now, various representatives of the space agency, including its chief scientist, James Green, noted that the interest in such announcement is likely to be very high. Now, Jimmy, here we go. What's more, there is a real possibility that life beyond Earth could be discovered relatively soon, they note. Now, I'll pause there for now, but that's what caught my attention, Jimmy. I'm not saying that the next thing to fall is going to be the...
And the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat.
But at this point, Jimmy, with the world so upside down and absurd and crazy, would you put it past them to play either the fake or really an alien card at this point? Because I wouldn't.
No. At this point, I mean, so much time's gone by. We could have genetically modified.
Well, Jim, think of this as well. From a kind of sci-fi woo-woo speculation island point of view. Like, we know that a lot of the scientific models and things that have been running our lives, you know, we talk about the politicians being dictators, but they've just been using what the algorithms are telling them to impose on people. I've often romanticized about the fact that I'll go for the D-Wave, and they're doing seminars right now where they're sitting with the Bank of Canada folks. The Bank of Canada and D-Wave are talking about banking in the multiverse. I'm just saying. But, you know, when they fully got that quantum AI that I speculate, I could be wrong. The minute it went live, I picture it speaking to other more ancient AIs out there in the cosmos. And you know what makes, or what starts to make the whole past 2 years of weirdness and absurdness? Do you know what actually makes it all fit together? If perhaps we are being set up for an alien invasion, perhaps the alien AI has been in communicate with our models, our simulations, putting us through these very, very weird experimental type times that we're living in right now. Who knows, dude? It'd be a good book though, right? Yeah, big time, dude, big time. The AI, it's the AI that's done it.
Well, at this point, like I wouldn't. There's been so much time that's gone by with these apparitions of these aliens that at this point I wouldn't say that it was out of the realm of imagination that there would be an organic robotoid like being that has been created, genetically modified from some praying mantis or something with those black.
Oh, I like it. So you've got the overlords. You're going for full insectoid realm. I think I like that. I like it. And then they've like created the greys.
Exactly.
And by the way, may I just add to that? Me and Scott Lopez were giving you a shout out the other day. We've moved a whole lot further down the road towards organic robotoids than I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, they're not.
I'm comfortable with.
I know they're not beyond the realms, but Charlie Robinson's over here on YouTube. He says to say hello to you, man. He misses you.
Charlie Robinson. Man, people check out Hypocrisy. I'll have Charlie on early next month. Great to see you, brother. Great to know you're out there. And folks, follow him on Twitter. I tell you, it makes your Twitter experience a whole lot more delightful. And I'm not just saying this because he's a dear friend and we are like brothers, but his podcast is pretty dang good.
It is
good.
Dare
I say it.
It really is.
Dare I say it, Jimmy? We're struggling to keep up with the guy that... Should we ever have brought him into this circle? Should we?
Oh, yeah,
Look at him
man.
now. Look at him. He's going on to bigger and better things.
Hey, listen, I would gladly let Charlie, I'd allow Charlie to climb up my back to get...
No, he's a...
Illuminati confirmed.
No, I'd give him a hand. I'd give him a leg up if he's climbing higher because he has personality, and personality goes a long way, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, we've been invaded over at Twitch. There's 19 people out there now thinking, what the hell have I clicked into? Thank you for joining us. Yes,
thanks,
indeed.
Twitch. What's up, man? What's up, Twitch?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
So what do you think? Do you think like my alien invasion hypothesis has got any merit at all? Should people be losing sleep over the fact that maybe we've been slowly and ever more rapidly invaded by a parasitic alien force that has been running scientific dictatorships and experiments against us for 18 months? Softening us up, Jimmy. Softening us up for the face suckers coming in, man.
Dude, it is Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Led by Fauci. I reckon he's going to demask and he's just going to demask and it's going to be full reptilian.
Well,
I mean,
I
Bill
just,
Gates,
you
man.
know, listen, I mean, we see unprecedented breaches of our freedoms, our privacy, our everything about what we have considered up until this point to be the fabric of our society and our belief systems that we live by. And now all of a sudden the rules.
Wow, that's a new noise from Bobby Trizzle. I've got absolutely no idea what that means. Bobby Trizzle is a subscriber now.
Nice.
That's absolutely fantastic. And
is.
we got AOC dancing as well, which is always a bonus to see on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to AOC, hashtag hubba hubba.
Well, so, yeah, so,
Not our politics, folks, not our politics.
mm-hmm.
Let's say, Jimmy. Jimmy, are you still there or have you frozen up?
No, I'm here, man. I froze up for a second, but
You just done a pregnant pause thing.
No, I was doing that on purpose to make you think
You
that there was something
disgusted at
wrong with
me.
it. No, I was doing that on purpose to make you think there was something wrong with the video.
And you did. You done it very well. You were like something at a Madame Tussauds.
I was like silent. I was like the fortune teller down at the boardwalk when you put the coin in, and you put the coin in, and she goes like this, and then moves her hand and looks at the crystal ball.
Well, what about the machine, right? What about the machine where you put the coin in, and then your president stands there like this? What's going on with your president, man? Biden gets weirder by the minute. I usually like to bully Trump and pick on him.
Did you
But
see?
in the name of equal opportunities and diversity and being inclusive, I have to mention this guy getting more bizarre by the month, the week, the day.
Did you see him in the middle of this town hall where he's talking
Saying,
about taxes?
Why am I here? What am I doing here?
He's talking about taxes, and he says they're paying zero, and he throws this.
And he starts looking through
He
his eye
starts
and
looking
things like
through.
that.
He
Yeah.
starts looking through the OK symbol that he throws up. Right. Well, first of all,
Confirmed.
exactly. And didn't they say that the OK symbol was racist a while back?
You know
Didn't
what?
they- didn't they say it was
how about
white
this for a
supremacist?
theory, though, Jimmy? How about this for a theory, right? And listen, I mean no offense to my American brothers or sister. I'm just a casual Celtic observer looking from the outside in as the mad gets madder, right? But we had 4 years of, admittedly, the press going over the top and attacking Trump. But at the same time, Trump, no, he isn't exactly perfection. Now we've got the other side, and we see how it's all bumbling idiots, and they're
Listen.
sold out to another mob, right? But do you think the overall goal of the people at the Bilderberg and Davos and Bohemian Grove, do you think, because you know what it looks like to me? It's like they want to make American politics just seem so openly broken and outdated that eventually both sides, left and right, are either going to clash in the middle or they're all going to harmoniously call for something completely different.
Yeah, well,
And we
I
know
mean,
what happens then, right? It's like problem, reaction, solution, because we know that they've got this all thought out, right?
hmm Well, just
Both
look at
sides
it.
just look like not an option anymore. And you've had all of the American people now rightly questioning the validity of elections and anywhere in the world, folks. They're all tampering with votes and numbers and things. We should all be kind of saying, look, is this really fair? Do you think that's what it's all building up to, the fact that when it comes to the next election, Jim, people feel like they've got no option, nothing left to lose?
Well, the thing is, man, is the only thing that's different now is just like the Santilli telescope. If you think there's some weird stuff going on with your election, it's only because you're looking at it through the lens that you have now that you didn't see it before. It's always been there. There's never been an election that was fair. Period.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
You don't have a lens to see it; it doesn't exist. But
Do you
I
remember
think
the Scottish independence one where I had the video up? I think I took it down when they were culling all the channels, but nearly 1 million views. You blatantly seen the person sitting there moving them from the yes pile into the no pile. Just blatantly just moving handfuls of them, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm just backing Jimmy up.
Yeah, it's
It
just
happens. You know, I often joke, Jimmy, if democracy was fair and it wasn't rigged, they would ban it immediately. They would ban it if they thought for one moment that the people might actually be able to participate and have an input in these things, right?
Mm-hmm. And everybody here goes, well, it's a democratic republic, but the problem with that is the representatives aren't representing you.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. Not only that, but 2/3 of the American population lives in what's called a constitutional free zone anyway. So every 100 miles from the coast, 100 miles in from the border, and 50-mile ring around international airports, those are all constitutional free zones. So, I mean, the America that people think even exists doesn't even really exist at all.
How about you and Charlie? Robinson and Jeans 2024, man. You could be the last stand against all been lost, Jimmy.
Well, I just think that we're at a precipice.
So Alec Baldwin is the head of Department of Homeland Security or something like that, you know.
We're at a
ATF.
We're at a precipice, you know. We're at the place where, you know, the rubber meets the road. It's the moment of truth for a lot of people. You know, the bottom line is, you know, over here at the Kev Baker Show and on our show, we're like, in a sense, we're like comedians of old. In other words, back in the day, comedians used to sit back and take shots at anybody, whoever was president. And the more screwed up the president was, the happier the comedians were, because they get the more that material they had to make fun of. You know, but at some
point, what do you make of the whole Dave Chappelle thing going on, man? They're out to try and cancel him. Dave Chappelle, for me, is like, he's a breath of fresh air. I know you're not a big fan, right? You're not a big fan of Dave Chappelle,
you know, I like early Dave Chappelle, but I mean, this Dave Chappelle thing is just like the Alex Jones, they're throwing me off the internet thing. I mean, his popularity is growing by the moment, by the day. So the best thing that ever happened to him, especially for his audience, is to be canceled by the social justice warrior crowd. So I mean, you know, his audience is an audience that will, you know, eat that up. So I think he's already making a documentary now of himself on tour while he's.
No, I already had that film out. It was already like accepted in all the major festivals, but of course, with all the hashtag controversy going on, the film festivals are cancelling screenings of it. You know, because you don't want to offend the wokelings out there. You know.
Well, I don't know, man. All I know is, hey, man, when they took somebody's stuff off YouTube and they had a website, they were still in business. They're still doing everything they were doing before. And even though he's getting canceled, it doesn't matter. His name is now out there again. He wasn't really out there too much. He wasn't really out there he was more out there in a way recently. Seemed like he was out there more in a political way, like from a black standpoint. Not from, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't see him doing any comedy until he got this Netflix thing recently. But maybe he was. I could be wrong. I don't know everything.
Well, he got his first Netflix gig, which was massive because he was taking on the L's, the G's, the B's, the T's, the Q's, all that good stuff. So, yeah. But, yeah, no, I get you. And there's no such thing as bad publicity.
No.
Absolutely not. But I must admit, definitely a guilty pleasure. I do like his current brand of sticking it to the woke lanes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. See, that's what I'm saying. He's playing to a specific type of audience, you know, different before. His career was much different. His jokes, his comedy, and that's, you know, because obviously he's gotten older, you know, he's been through more, if that's even him. But anyway.
Jimmy, have they replaced him?
I don't know, man. He went away and then he came back. I don't know. We've done a couple of pieces on that. It's interesting. We brought up the organic robotoid angle.
I love taking a tour through your neurons, man. It's awesome.
Well, you know, he used to be a cigarette smoking, skinny, quick, sarcastic comedian that could like capitalize on a moment, tell a story like Richard Pryor. You know what I mean? And then he just went away. He just quit. They tried to make him. This was
They replaced him, man. They done him. They did it.
Well,
they grew the robotoid.
I'll tell you what. This was the signifier. This was actually the name of the show we did. Was they didn't want the name of the show was Dave's Not Here, and it was because he wouldn't wear the dress. You could go to the Oprah. He did an Oprah interview where he talks about. He says every black actor has to wear the dress, man. He goes. He said I don't want to wear the dress. He said now I was making this movie. He goes, and I came in the trailer. I came inside. There was a dress hanging there. He's like, what? He's like, no, man, I'm not wearing the dress. So he
goes, Jones would love to see Chappelle in a dress, right? Sorry, I'm thinking aloud.
Yeah, and he's funny. He's like, look, man. This is what he told the guy. He told the producer. He goes, look, man, I'm funnier than a damn dress, or whatever. I'm not wearing the dress, man. I'm not wearing it. And he didn't wear the dress, man. And then
when they grow the robotoid, do they like you like cast an amber or something? I mean,
I'm just saying he comes back. Like he goes away. He disappears from his lucrative career. He goes to Africa or whatever. He starts a llama. Yep. He starts a llama farm. And he's away from the public eye.
As you do, man, you know.
And then he comes back, and all of a sudden, there he is, and he's got super big shoulders, big biceps. You know, he doesn't even look like. I mean, he kind of resembles the old, but he looks more like a superhero, Dave Chappelle now, like a comic, like a comic.
You would hope if they're going to grow an organ like a robotoid. I mean, I would like them to put a couple of pounds onto me, you know.
That's
take
what I'm
a couple
saying.
of years off, stretch the skin back a bit, you know.
Get you some neck, put some traps on you, get you some
Right,
back.
listen, Jimmy, we're running out of time, right? So we're gonna lay off Dave Chappelle. You've had your go at him. I mentioned Alex Jones. Now, somebody who's become a firm favourite of yours, and who I can proudly say I was the first to allow him onto the U.S. networks and airways. Dr. Kevin McCairn.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm sitting watching McCairn's stream today, right? And it's surreal because he's got a clip on the screen. And it's a clip of our very favourite Alex Jones, right? But with a difference. Because in the background of Alex, there's this like scientific type background.
Uh-huh.
And when you look really close, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You know what was made my most epic internet moment? When I seen Alex Jones sat to the backdrop of Dr. Kevin McCairn's blood. And not only that, but a sample of his own swimmers. Yes, indeed. Alex Jones sat there in front of Kevin McCairn's bodily fluids as they discussed his very cool experiment that he's been running over on Doc McCairn's channel, where he's been attacking his own swimmers and his blood with vials of the Pfizer.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Alex Jones sitting there in front of.
But never said anything about Dr. Kevin McCairn.
Yes, they did. They gave him umpteen shout-outs. And Dr. Richard Fleming. And Dr. Richard Fleming, shout out to him. He gave Kevin umpteen shout-outs and credit. And not only that, folks, right? Because often on shows, we talk about problems and we're all desperate for things to do and solutions. And I've really, really enjoyed getting to know Doc McCairn ever since he phoned me up.
He's a good
Really enjoy like his company on and off air. I know he's one of my guilty pleasures, but I want you to appreciate something just for a moment, if I may. Because between him and Dr. Richard Fleming, JC on a Bike's another one, a few others, they're not just talking the talk. Because when you've heard talk of things going on at The Hague and war crimes and stuff like this with all the medical tyranny going on right now, a lot of it is just that. It's talk, it's hot air, it's wind, it's people sitting at their keyboards shouting their mouths off, but not really doing much about it. Only Doc McCairn and the people that he's working with are literally the ones giving the literature to the people at The Hague to try and get this thing through. You know, and Fleming was talking about how he's working with people who actually survived some of the camps back in World War II, and how they were the people who hand-delivered this to the War Crime Bureau at The Hague. But that's how they look upon the times that we're living in now. So I want to give credit to Doc McCairn.
Yeah, man.
He takes a lot of flack, but he's doing something. He's done a lot more than I have. He's done a lot more than I have, and I take my hat off to him, dude.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
think he gets half the credit that he deserves, you know, and I'm just glad. Sure, Alex Jones, I'll call him a shill here. We know what he is, but he's got an absolutely massive audience.
Yeah.
And you've got that audience being subjected with the whole host of information that isn't quite on the mark. But now, when you're seeing that information that the Doc's putting together, and Doc Fleming, I think,
He
you know,
broke
credit
that.
where it's due. And that video got over 100,000 views in one day. And I hope it continues to get views. And I'll be getting Doc McCairn back on here sometime real soon as well. But getting things, even attempting to get things moving in The Hague, dude, it's more than I've done.
He was on my show after he did that for 36 hours. That was the night that the person that I had on from Down Under or whatever was on. And he was on with Doc McCairn was on my show the night he broke that on the show. He talked about it, that he actually showed the slides and everything, and he was all tired. Like I thought he was upset or whatever. I go, hey Doc, what's going on? I've never seen you like this before. You look a little down. He goes, no man. He goes, Jimmy, I've been up for 36 hours, and
not only that, he'd been sticking himself to try and draw blood. And
that's what I mean.
He'd probably taken a pint of blood out of himself, right?
Jeez. And ladies and gentlemen, he's put his career on the line to show everybody what's exactly going on. So, and he's no hack either. Take a look at Dr. Kevin McCarran's paperwork, because believe me, he's somebody that people listen to. He's no joke.
Jimmy, promote your show quickly. We're almost out of time, brother.
10:30 Pacific, Aftermath FM. Come on down and join us tonight. We should have a great time, and thank you for letting me be here. 10:30 Pacific, Aftermath FM. Kev Baker, thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy, and I'll be back tomorrow with Evan and Stephen Strong. Yes, we're going back down under for our alien ancestry. How did we get here?
Nice.
Until then, wherever you are, make it TFR. And then he touched that dial. So with that said, I want to thank everyone over on Twitch. Now, give me a second, Jimmy. We were up to 18 on Twitch at one point, man.
Sweet, man. 18. That's 9.
Monumental day. It's a monumental day.
Well, that's
Let's
9.
see if I can get all the chatters up here. Let's see.
So you got 9, and then I got 6.
We've got another TV viewer, Bellamonte, Bet Davis Eyes.
Oh,
Betty Davis Eyes.
Yeah, Betty Davis Eyes,
We've got Bobby Trizzle, Buzzacino, good to see you.
Hey, Buzz.
CF1960. We've got Chris from the UK. We've got Commander Root. Hey, awesome. We've got Def B, Elysian. It feels like we're moving into Elysium. I don't know about anything else. Extra More, Iviotic, Jack the Cat, Joseph Skynet, Nat Zelly, Real Bernays Sauce, Sprinter Boy, and thank you, Bobby Trizzle, for the subscription. I'll need to go and check what that actually means now. But Jimmy Jeans, it's been a pleasure, sir.
Hey, thanks.
An absolute pleasure. Have you enjoyed today?
Oh, man, I had a good time. You had a bunch of people over here in my chat room. And
give them a shout out before we go, man.
Yeah.
You can give them a shout out, and then after that, I'll give the disco a shout out as well. Right?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
everyone's happy.
Carrie McGann's over here, Feminim's over here, Nothing As That As It Seems, SF Thomas, Robin Papalopoulos is over there, Last One's over there, Droney's over there, Drone Free, Zoe's over there, let's see, Kenny's over here, Rotman from Down Under, the man from under.
The man, the thylacine.
Media Works was here a bit ago. That's Chris from the UK, and he's got a show over on Aftermath.
Nice.
So yeah. So that's about it. That's about as far back as I can scroll.
So over here we've got Carol, we've got Catman, Gradient, Jocelyn, John Jackhammer. Sounds like the name of it. That sounds very wrestler.
I'm better than you, and
and you know it.
There you go. So there's a wrestler shout out for you, dude. We've got Josie, we've got Nanette, and finally the Wookiee. Yes, boom, the Wookiee. Listen, folks, we'll be back tomorrow night. A lot of woo from down under, but a big thank you to everyone over on Twitch in particular. Really great. I keep going live there every day. If you like it, come and check us out. We have a laugh. We get into good commentary on things. You're not always going to agree with me or my guest, but it's not about telling you how the world works. We try to give you the information so that I believe in you to be able to be responsible enough to make of it what you will. We provide, you decide. And on that note, we are out of here. There we go. I'll hang up on the disco crew. We are out of here. Love you and leave you.
Okay, everybody.
Jenny, I know you're still over on YouTube.
We're going right now. Okay, YouTube. We got to see you later. I'm going to be on with Billy in 2